What would your hell be? Applying for jobs, having great interviews, being told that we'll definitely call you, and then getting ghosted for eternity. Teaching an elderly person how to double click a mouse who never gets it. Living the same reality over and over again. Like a situation repeating itself for an eternity. A scorching desert and nearby is a spring of thick, viscous tomato juice. An eternity of dinner with my in-laws. Being in an empty transparent room with nothing to do and with people just looking at me all the time and asking me various unanswerable questions driving me crazy. It might sound stereotypical due to common religious depictions of hell, but I'd have to say burning alive for all of eternity. I'm not sure if that would entail being a shapeless void that only feels unimaginable pain or being my physical self that perpetually regenerates as it's horrifically destroyed forever, but I imagine if it was coupled with living out infinite vivid depictions of scenarios in which everyone you've ever loved or care about was experiencing equally horrible emotional, psychological and physical pain, then that would be the worst thing I think is possible. Honestly? Besides the typical version of hell with torture and shit, I think being alone for eternity would be my personal hell. For the longest time I've wanted nothing more than to keep the people that I care about in my life. I hate being alone. You could offer me the world, but if there is nobody to share it with, then it would mean nothing to me. Take away my family, my friends, I'd lose myself very quickly. You ever watch the TV on the couch and you set the remote beside you on the couch and then you go to grab it but it just disappears and you lift every cushion up and move your butt in every which way direction and you still can't find it, so you stand up and you're moving stuff around and you're on your hands and knees looking under the couch and under the cushions because maybe it fell in the couch and you seriously can't find it, and then you move your foot to the left and you step on it so it hurts and then you pick it up and flop back on the couch and you set the remote beside you on the couch? Like that, but forever. You die and then come to the realization that you are sitting in like a movie theater with everybody you've ever met and or know about, and they are sitting around you having just watched everything you did in your entire life in real time. Every lie or time you talked shit about someone, every dick move, dumb thing you've ever done, and everyone knows all about it, and you have to spend the rest of eternity locked in with everyone knowing who you really are. Read about this on Reddit and it really stuck with me. Having endless diarrhea. Always having a dry throat. Being really dumb and incapable of helping that. Having seizures one after another. Forced to watch Jake Paul videos while getting kicked in the nuts. Being locked in a diner full of Karens with one shitty waiter and no manager. Probably being forced onto one of those Love Island Bachelor romance reality shows where I can't win. I don't want to, but I can't leave either. Nice try, Satan. A constant feeling like I'm about to sneeze, with no sneeze ever to follow. Being immortal. I would rather die young than live for more than 80 years. Hundreds of 5-year-olds asking me if they can play on my phone. That nothing exists anymore but my conscious remains. Walking on the street but everybody else is walking uncomfortably slow and I've got somewhere I need to be. Sea of Lego. Sorry, no tips. Being buried upside down, with my legs sticking out, and every time I open my mouth to scream I would get dirt, insects, and roots inside my mouth. I think it was one of Dante's Inferno punishment for witches. Being within earshot of my wife and kids but not being allowed to physically see or talk or hold them. Especially my wife. Walking an endless hallway behind slow walking people you can't pass, and you really have to go to the bathroom at the end of the hallway. Evangelical Christian version of heaven. Standing in line at Taco Bell behind a group of 30 elderly people and the person running the cash register is a trainee who has to get the attention of the person running drive-thru whenever he gets confused. They are out of Baja Blast Zero. Stuck in a church listening to an endless sermon while being force-fed raisins and orange juice, with all the boy bands, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, and Stacey Q songs playing on the organ. Sat in a dead-end 9-5 job watching my life go by. Oh wait, I'm already in hell. Locked in a room with that girl telling me what the motherfucking tap 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 tea is. Maple syrup everywhere. Watching the entirety of Big Bang Theory again and again. Forced interaction with the other denizens of hell. Constantly having eyelashes stuck in both of your eyes. Hot and humid. Losing my vision or hearing. Being alone. Or that spider nest in Harry Potter. Just nothing. An eternity of nothing but me floating in a void. Listening to Alanis Morissette's Jagged Little Pill album on repeat in a room full of tarantulas. Living in one of the posts from RM's origin. Having all your senses removed for eternity. You can't see, you can't hear, you can't feel, you can't taste, you can't shout. No sense of time, no sense of where you are. Just eternal darkness, alone with your thoughts. This was the basis of a very famous creepypasta. When I worked at Sainsbury's, my hell would be a never-ending line of customers complaining about everything, then demanding the manager but I can't get fired so I'm just stuck there for eternity. With the devil and amp, others eating popcorn and amp, watching. You don't have a hell if you're depressed. Just an ocean of mayonnaise and no land in sight. Life. Being away from my PC for 24 hours. Anti-vaxxers, flat earthers and conspiracy theorists talking to me and trying to convince me of their theories for all eternity. People wanting to talk to me about my responsibilities. Highly sweat-inducing high-stakes responsibilities. And demanding that I take a decision that will impact me for the rest of my life, or death in that case, I guess. Over and over. Mothra is banned. Forced to play No Man's Sky on PlayStation. Eternal procrastination knowing I have to do some important activity report etc. Sorority door chants. My hell is filled with sorority door chants. https://yahoo.be/s_kkky_7cxk. Eternally drowning in glitter. Playing Hollow Knight with no benches. An eternity of breakfast radio. Hellheim so I can laugh at my past mistakes. Locked in syndrome. I'm in it right now. Watching others suffer horribly and knowing that you should help them. Maybe you even could, but instead you just watch, paralyzed. You feel empathy for their agony and bear the unbearable putrid shame at your own inaction. But even trying to look away is useless because there is cruelty and pain of every kind in every direction. You compulsively tell yourself that there isn't anything you can do to help, but you really don't know because you cannot bring yourself to even try. Living in a world without my friends and family. Slow. Internet. Giant room filled with weed, pipes, bongs, papers but no lighter. Sitting in the middle of a giant wasp's nest while Nirvana is blaring. Groundhog Day. But it actually doesn't end. Country music playing locked in a room. If being condemned to being an amorphous, incorporeal shape who's delegated the responsibility of supervising the person you love the most prior to your death as a vengeful deity tries to orchestrate their death by nefarious means, I'd rather 1,000 deaths than be subjected to witnessing any pain inflicted upon my loved ones. My hell is being condemned to watching the excruciating suffering of loved ones and not being able to alleviate it. One of my nostrils is forever clogged up. Being forced to eat pineapple pizza. A meaningless existence full of suffering. Having sleep paralysis facing a wall. Being completely surrounded by needles just barely touching your skin. Moving even your eyelids gets you stabbed and the temperature is below zero so shivering fucks you up. If you get to the point of death you immediately respawn, so you can get this constant falling effect going if you get bored of being completely unable to move. Gonna have nightmares about this tonight, let's go boys. I don't know about hell, but my heck would be permanent audio-video sync issues. Being shown a film of all my life's mistakes over and over and over again. Not being able to do anything. Forever being asked questions by people who never learn. It would be fine but I would quickly descend into madness. Stranded in the middle of the ocean with no boat or raft of any sort. German music called Schlager, and all people down there are like a classmate of mine. Why this is hell, nor am I out of it. Seeing from third person what your life could be if you would have reached your full potential. Spiders. Loud noises, or just millions of myself. The Bible only describes constant fire, so I guess that. Tied to a chair with endless episodes and movies of Sex in the City. Eventually even my ears would bleed. Hell doesn't scare me. I've been trough chemo. Plus I occasionally suffer from psychotic episodes in which I interact with decaying people. Bring it on. If after we die our consciousness is trapped inside our bodies and we can't move or say anything for eternity. Entirely debate ordering a pizza for what feels like an eternity. Order said pizza, and then said pizza never comes. Living with my parents under their roof. Nice try, Satan. Gout on both legs. An eternity surrounded by people who chew loudly and tap their pens. Infinity. Living the same life I am living for eternity. Earth. I had a teacher who once said that hell is being without the one you love most, whether that's a friend, or family member. Being forced to give a massively important public speech about a subject I am completely underprepared for in front of about 100 people harshly judging me while I'm in the nude. Having a stupid eerie and short dream over and over again forever. Being forced to watch reality programs. Lying down on a really comfortable bed. Except there are needles surrounding you everywhere in a way that you are easily pierced if you move. Being in a crowded room for eternity. You can move, see but cannot hear unless it's the words or noises from you or are spoken directly to you from some person you've never seen before. Others are talking all around you but you can't hear what they are saying. Most of them will look at you while speaking with someone else, and every time you make a noise every person in the room will focus on you entirely. Everyone will try to talk to you at some point every day with random questions that are impossible to answer with yes or no, and most will ask you to explain your answer. Each time you talk to everyone in the room once the room is suddenly filled with completely new people you have never seen before. There are no doors or windows in this room. No furniture. Nowhere to hide, not even a bathroom to escape to. Having extremely chapped lips and a stuffy nose simultaneously, forever. Everything is just alright. Nothing's bad. Nothing's good. Everything is just alright. Being back at school. I'm living it right now actually. You ever try and schedule the ND sessions? Comare Sisyphean hell for sure. I think the Greeks got at the best bit their punishments. Who says I'm not in it? Imagine having a bad trip on every drug at the same time. I'm already in hell. Immortality. Always being at least one class away from graduating no matter what I do. Walking through the park on a lovely fall day and stepping in dog shit, hidden underneath the freshly fallen leaves that someone decided not to pick up. Loved ones yelling criticism at me and validating every anxious thought I ever had, while my ex-girlfriend hooked up with all of my friends. All the music I listen to sounds like a scratched record. My hell would be an eternity of working Christmas Eve at a grocery store. Just a never-ending sea of people being in your way while you try to clean up after them and fill shelves. Meanwhile the 100th person has asked you where the eggnog is but you sold out 5 hours ago. I am on a boat with several other smokers. I have the last cigarette on earth and no means of lighting it. Trapped in a septic tank used by a large prison, on Burrito Day. An eternity of watching LeBron dismantling my Raptors. Being tickled non-stop. I struggle to breathe when it's done. I'm not too ticklish, it's the human contact that spikes my anxiety, causing me to hyperventilate. Getting chewed out by my mom. Being stuck in a full porta potty on a hot summer day. Forever. Permanently fixing floor tiles just to get them messed up again. Being completely alone in darkness forever, and you have nothing with you. Crowded mall at Christmas time and none of the stores have what I need and Christmas music is playing and you can never leave. So basically every December. Be constantly around people. Watching people who do not know a single shortcut, working with computers all day. But this guy has at least to know copy and paste, and he grabs the mouse. Oh, he is typing Google in the Chrome address bar now. Dog sitting. An eternity of walking between trains on the London Underground, slow people in front of me included. Not being able to move but still being conscious. What the heck? I was just talking to my friend about this yesterday. Anyways, mine would be those tooth sunding machines. I don't know what their title is, in my mouth forever. The pain those cause is unreal. Nice try, Satan, but you ain't getting any answer that you can use against me. A never-ending school day, or maybe just a school day in general where nobody screws up. I mean, clumsy people are really what makes my day worth it, and dumb people, so as you can guess I go to school pretty often because there's no shortage to those kind of people there. A constant stomachache, as in you can't focus on anything but that pain, at the same time being just a little too hot for your comfort level and having the same verse of a song stuck in your head. Surrounded by a mountain of weed like the green moat from Oblivion. But can't find a lighter.